last game, season. That last game as a console fans, I think
Welcome everyone to the live stream, and it's breaking there, and this is the live stream of the final day, the last coverage for you, of course, on an iconic day. Today is Arsenal's Coronation Day. Pep Guardiola will have his farewell speech today, and alongside Bernardo Silva, John Stones, Salah, and Liverpool, its final game at Anfield, live for you on the Talk News YouTube channel, and we have all that coverage for you. A confirmed player of the season is Bruno Fernandes, and he today against Brighton away from home might just break that assist record. That is all coming up live on Talk News. So it's the live coverage right now, and the coverage starts in less than 9 minutes time at 2:30 UK time. Thank you. So we are live. Welcome to the live coverage of the final day. This is the Talk News YouTube channel, and of course, my name is Obafemi Makinde, and the colours of the ribbons of the Premier League, they are red and white. And this is the introduction. The final day of the Premier League season, of the 2025-2026 Premier League season, has brought some fantastic moments. 25th of April 2004 to the 19th of May 2026, Arsenal have waited 2 decades, 2 years, and 24 days. Oh, so long have we seen the prestigious trophy in Arsenal red and white. 22 years of shame and humiliation, disappointment and dissatisfaction, built up frustration, heartbreak and sadness. There's a nauseous feeling on a Tuesday night in Bournemouth. On the south coast of England, watch parties taking place from North London to New York, from Lagos, Nigeria, Accra, Ghana, from Vancouver, Canada to Paris in France. Fixed eyes watching for an imminent moment of celebration, and they achieved from Arteta's barbecue to Arsenal training ground into the gates at the Emirates Stadium. They all went absolutely ecstatic, not forgetting to thank Bournemouth for a helping hand. Arsenal simply cannot be caught mathematically at the top, but their fiercest rivals are in a relegation battle. If Tottenham failed to draw today and West Ham have victorious against Leeds, the unthinkable happened. Arsenal win the Premier League and Spurs will go down to the Championship. The race for Europe is still going on in intense heat. Into the games today as Liverpool, Bournemouth, Brighton, Chelsea, Brentford and Sunderland could still decide which of the 3 European competitions they qualify for. Sir, 370 games played, 1,021 goals scored, 190 clean sheets attained by all the 20 clubs, 10 games to go. This is the Talk News live coverage of the final day of the Premier League season. My name's Obafemi Makinde, and so these are the 10 final day fixtures. We're kicking off simultaneously at 4 p.m. UK time, the same time in Nigeria. Final day, of course, of the season brings hope for clubs and glory for clubs, and of course, today, Coronation Day for Arsenal. But let's just start with the 10 games. Brighton versus Manchester United, that'll be Casimir's final game as a Manchester United player, watching at the same time Brighton and their European qualification news and hope, of course, but stands at 7th, which is a European, not European, an European League competition. Moving on to Burnley versus Wolves. We're just going to receive match updates. Of course, it's 19th versus 20th, of course, on the final day. If Wolves win, they'll be 19th. Of course, if Burnley win, they will still be 19th. It's a battle of those already relegated. Moving on to Fulham versus Newcastle United. We'll also receive match updates from that one. Actually, all the games, or that game there, is actually, quote unquote, or irrelevant, I would say. Fulham and Newcastle cannot attain European glory or European qualification as it stands. Moving on to Liverpool versus Brentford, a big day from Salah. It has been since 2017, 2018. He has been a Liverpool player. So many goals, 193 goals scored as a Liverpool legend. And today is the day that Anfield will say bye-bye and thank you very much. Robertson will also leave at the end of this season. He will also have his farewell alongside the Liverpool legend Mohamed Salah. They're both legends. Then watch for the European qualification news. Of course, Liverpool can still qualify for the Champions League. It's not confirmed yet. A point to do for Arne Slot's side. While for Brentford, they need to win. Why? Because Brentford, as it stands, are 9th, which is not enough even for the Conference League spot. So they need to win Brentford. And then, of course, Sunderland versus Chelsea. European qualification news. In that one, Sunderland, as it stands, are 10th. Chelsea are 8th. Chelsea are in the Conference League positions as it stands, and they could still finish as high as 7th, which will be an Europa League position. So far, so good. That is that from that. And Sunderland need to win in that game. Moving on to Tottenham versus Everton. That is relegation battle. Also, at the same time, West Ham United will face Leeds. That's also relegation battle. I said earlier, Tottenham. If Tottenham fail to win and West Ham win, West Ham will be safe. So it's that time of the season where we have farewells and tears. And boy, oh boy, we have a lot today. The other program includes, of course, the intro. Pep leaves Manchester City after 10 years and 20 honours to his name. And also breaking news for you, there will be a stand, or City have named their stand, the Pep Guardiola stand, which is very, very interesting, that one. Uh, and also, Bernardo Silva and John Stones, I can tell you, will leave. They will leave City at the end of the season, and they will also have their farewell alongside their manager. And of course, Arsenal are Premier League champions for the 2025-2026 Premier League season. We'll have the player reactions, the fan celebrations. The Celtic Kings done it again. Aston Villa congratulations some former side. Mikel Arteta, his interviews this past week, or this Tuesday night. The Premier League congratulates Arsenal. Looking forward to Budapest for Arsenal. They face Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League final, and David Raya is the Golden Glove winner. Also, let's talk about Manchester United, and Michael Carrick is confirmed that Carrick will be the head coach of Manchester United. At least the contract runs all the way on to 2028. Also, that's big news for them. And moving on, of course, still on Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes is the player of the season. He is the player of the season, of course, voted in by the player of the season. And also, let's not forget that assist record, 20 assists as it stands, going into the final day. It's going to be very, very interesting to see if he breaks it. Of course, as it stands, he tied, of course, Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne to have 20 assists. Today, if he just, has just one assist, he will break that record. Moving on to the promoted side to the Premier League season. Of course, next season is the 26/27 Premier League season. And we have a confirmation of our three teams joining us. Of course, we have two teams already relegated, Burnley and Wolves confirmed. Three teams have been confirmed to get back into the Premier League. Coventry are Premier League. Ipswich United are Premier League. Hull are Premier League. So, Hull victorious against Middlesbrough in the playoff final, the 48th playoff final. Tony says hi too. Their 40th playoff final. Hull City victorious. Thanks to Oliver Burney in the 94th or 95th minute in that one, sealed the victory for the Tigers, and they are through. So Coventry, Ipswich, and Hull are Premier League. A5 says, do Tottenham get relegated today? Tottenham will get relegated today if they fail to win and West Ham win. But they do have the destiny in their own hands. Of course, the relegation back to West Ham and Spurs. West Ham, what a turnaround it has been this year. They were literally, I think, 11 points or 10 points clear going into the new year, but somehow they're only 2 points behind Spurs, and Spurs at some point were actually in the relegation zone this season. But recently, Roberto De Zerbi has turned things around for Spurs, and that's where they are. But Nuno's turnaround in 2026 is key for West Ham, and also Jared Bowen's impact. What a season he has had. So many goals, so many assists. He is absolutely brilliant. Balling, pardon me. And we'll get to the England team for the World Cup soon. The race for Europe, of course, continues. Salah leaves Liverpool. That's, of course, the breaking news. Robertson does the same. He also leaves Liverpool. He has his farewell. They both have their farewell. Aston Villa qualify for the Champions League, and they win the Europa League. And, of course, Unai Emery, of course, he always wins when a team has Villa in their name. Sevilla, Villarreal, Aston Villa. What a win that was against Freiburg in Istanbul. Wow. Absolutely entertaining on Wednesday night. And they beat them by 3-0, and they are champions of the Europa League. Also, today is Andrew Robertson's final game as manager. Of course, his team played a huge part in the title race. They got 2 points off Manchester City. So that means that, of course, Arsenal, of course, are champions. But that also means that point against City meant that Bournemouth maybe cannot be caught. Well, at least they have Europe confirmed for next season. And also they will play Nottingham Forest today at the City ground. So if Bournemouth win today, of course, it's an if Bournemouth win today, And of course, fifth right now is Liverpool. And Liverpool lose to Brentford. There is an opportunity that Bournemouth could be a slim one, could be in the Champions League next season. Of course, if it is a very huge if. I mean, right now it has to be that Brentford beat Liverpool by a goal to nil, and Forest lose against Bournemouth by 5 goals to nil. It has to take a very huge goal swing because, as it stands, +4 goal difference to Bournemouth, that's 9 to Liverpool, I believe. So they need the goal difference swing too. Moving on to Oliver Glasses' final game at Southwark Park is a few minutes from now. Of course, the big game there, the big news is that he might, I mean, it's in contention. He might still get leave of the role as the manager of Crystal Palace. Of course, he is, or at least he has taken his side to the Conference League final against Pelicano on Wednesday night. And of course, he won. Him and his side won the FA Cup last season against Manchester City, and also won the Community Shield against Liverpool earlier this season. Keith Andrews and Brentford, I mean, from relegation talks, Keith Andrews, to potential European qualification, what a season he's had. And tonight, he might just edge and ensure Brentford's safeguardings into an European competition. Also, today we're going to talk about Regis Labrie and, of course, in Sunderland, a potential European qualification today for them. If they beat Chelsea, of course, and, of course, Brentford drop points or don't win against Liverpool, they will be in a Champions League. Champions League. They will be at least in the UEFA Conference League. In talking Chelsea, of course, European qualification, has they can finish in seventh. But also, breaking news for you over the last week is to confirm that Xabi Alonso will be Chelsea's new manager for next season. He's agreed a 4-year deal, of course, which will run all the way to 2030. So, all that, and the lineups will come in. In fact, we're expecting lineups to come in very soon. Any moment from now, we're going to take you through the lineups for all the games, for the 10 games simultaneously. And of course, the previews to the games. We're going to give you live coverage of Manchester City versus Aston Villa, Pep's final game and his farewell. And also breaking news for you, there will be a Pep Guardiola stand for the City fans. Of course, after that, we're also going to have goal rush. During the game, we're going to have goal rush and the halftime coverage, of course, for you. The halftime review of the 5 focus games. Actually, a focus games. Crystal Palace versus Arsenal, where Arsenal will be coronated today. Man City versus Aston Villa, Tottenham versus Everton, West Ham versus Leeds, and Sunderland versus Chelsea. And of course, the second half coverage, which will follow the full-time coverage, and then Arsenal's coronation. Martin Odegaard will be the 19th player in Premier League history to lead his team out and lead the Premier League trophy. He'll be 19th captain to do so in Premier League history. Following that, Manchester City and their farewells, Pep Guardiola says goodbye. He has to stand in after the Pep Guardiola stand. Yeah. And also for you, Bernardo Silva, of course, and John Stone, they leave today. Salah and Robertson give their farewell addresses. Of course, Liverpool, of course, organize that. And then the match reviews, of course, if there's a need for a review. And after that, we will be talking about the FIFA World Cup 2026 and, of course, our promo for that. So that is the other program. It's a lot to digest and to take in. I believe all the notification I'm getting right now is because the lineups have just dropped for the games. Of course, we are 1 hour and 9 minutes away from the start of all the 10 games kicking off simultaneously. And let me just give me a moment. Let me check that for you. So if you're on the vertical live feed, I advise you come over to our long form because we're gonna go through some videos for you that we have taken from sources of the internet, and I've collected them together, and we're going to have Pep's final message for Manchester City fans. Of course, Salah, he has greetings from all over the world, of course, congratulating him on a fantastic Liverpool career. And yeah, we have a lot to disclose. So if you're on the short form, please go to the long form. Still, we're also going live, we're actually live right now on the long form, still on the channel. You'll see that. Just subscribe and then go over to a page and you see that, because we're going to go through some videos in a short moment. So let's start with of course, our focus games for you. The first focus game, as I said, was the Crystal Palace versus Arsenal, and the lineups are in for you. Of course, the location I was hearing earlier, of course, on my tab, on my iPad was the lineups for you. And so let's go to the lineups for you. We have, actually, let me share this instead of the long form. Share this tab instead. So we're sharing this. Of course, let's go live. So Crystal Palace, of course, Oliver Glass. Oliver Glasner. This might be his final game as Crystal Palace manager, and Henderson is in goal. Of course, he was called up to the England squad. The back three includes Riyad, Lermer, and Klein. It's a 3-4-2-1 formation led by Glasner. Cardenas on the left, of course, the left fullback. Hughes and Kamada in the midfield. Munoz, the right fullback. Devaney and Salazar had a tremendous season so far. 21 goals, no competition for his Salazar. Because your striker today for Crystal Palace is Strand Larsen. And of course, we expected the captain to make a lot of changes. Kepa Arrizabalaga is in goal instead of David, of course, who is the Golden Boot winner. Your Golden Glove winner. Christian Mosquera, pardon me for this. Christian Mosquera is the right back, no guard, and Capie, the two centre backs, no Gabriel and Silva starting. Calafiori starts at left back. Zubimendi and Lewis Kelly, the two midfield pivots. Manueke on the right, who was called up for the World Cup. Martinelli on the left. Darman starts for Arsenal. Makes a very rare start. In fact, it's actually this is Darman's first start as an Arsenal player. And Gabriel Jesus is starting for Arsenal today. And then just give me a second here. I can't get, okay, wait, sorry. Yeah, I can't get it. So the bench for Crystal Palace includes Walter Benitez, JD Canvot, Maxence Lacroix, Adam Wharton, Tyrick Mitchell, Jeremy Pino, Brendan Johnson, Ivan Casson, Jean-Philippe Mateta. Of course, they all are on the bench. And for Arsenal, Tommy Setford, Gabriel, Declan Rice, Eber Chiese, Martin Odegaard, Mika Marino, Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz, and Victor Perez are all on the bench for Arsenal. So literally, Arsenal making a lot of changes to the side that beat Burnley. Of course, a crucial win in their run to winning the Premier League title. Moving on to our next game. Of course, this is our feature game actually. Of course, the game between Crystal Palace and Arsenal is just our focus game, but this is our feature game. Donnarumma is in goal. Gvardiol, Diaz, Stones, and Nunes. It's crucial because Stones makes his final start for Manchester City. Rodri and Silva in midfield. Doku on the left, Cherki on the right, Foden in midfield, of course, who was not called up for the England squad. And Erling Haaland starts for Manchester City. And the starting lineup for Aston Villa includes Beto in goal, Garcia, Bergard, Bings, Matson, the back four, Barkley, and pardon me for this, Barkley and Douglas Luiz, the midfield pivots, Bailey on the right, Sancho on the left, Elliott down the middle, of course, down the middle as the cam, and Tammy Abraham starts for Aston Villa. The bench includes, actually, we can't have the bench for you right now, but that'll come later. We promise. We'll give the bench later on. Let's go on to our next feature game for you. Of course, let's see if Salah will start today, his final game. And yes, he will. Let's go through the lineups. Of course, Liverpool versus Brentford. Alisson is in goal. Of course, he actually has been injured recently, but Alisson starts for Liverpool. Although this might be his last game, of course, at Anfield. Robertson started. That's also his final home game as a Liverpool player. Virgil van Dijk, Canate, pardon me for the stutter. Virgil van Dijk, Canate, Jones, the back four. McAllister, Gravenberch, the midfield pivot. Szoboszlai is the cam today. Florian Wirtz is down the left. Salah on the right. And Cody Gakpo starts as the striker today for Brentford. Of course, Keith Andrews, what a job he has done. Of course, they might still qualify for Europe today if they win today. Kelleher is in goal. Mika Coyote, of course, at right back. Van der Berg, Collins, and Lewis to complete the back four. Yamayuk and Jensen, the midfield pivots. Atara on the right, Damsgaard is the cam, Shadow on the left, and Igor Thiago, who is the second top goal scorer this season in the league with 22 goals for the season he's had. And we will bring the lineups of course the bench for you later on. Let's go to our next feature game. We have Tottenham Hotspur versus Everton, and it's a big game. This Spurs need a point. Spurs is a point against Everton to ensure safety, and of course, they're at home. Anton Kiski is in goals scored today for Tottenham. With Doggy, Van der Ven, Dante, and Porro at the back four. Japelini and Benson call the midfield pivots. Gallagher is a cam, Tell on the left. Spence plays at right midfield, and Richardson starts as the striker for Everton. Pickford in goal. O'Brien, Tarkowski, Keane, Mikalenko, the back four. Ian Rooney, James Garner, of course, who missed out of the England squad, is starting, they start as the midfield pivot. Roy on the right, Diai on the left, Jusby Hall is the cam, and Theo Barry starts as the striker. Moving on to another focus game another game on Goal Rush. Matt Emerson is in goal for West Ham. Two for Panos, Desassi. And Carroll competed the back four. Fernandez, Socek, the midfield pivot. Somerville on the left, Pablo in cam. Bowen on the right. And Castellanos starts as a striker for West Ham United. Dallo is the keeper today for Leeds. Of course, I have nothing to play for. Rodon, Viho, and Struck, the midfield of not the midfield three, the defensive three. Bogle, Aronson, and Padu, Tanaka, and Justin, the midfield five. And Nemecha and Cavalier starts on the final day of the Premier League season away at the London Stadium. Moving on to another feature game, Sunderland versus Chelsea. Of course, both still in contention for Europe or European qualification. Rose is in goal for Sunderland. Renildo, O'Nien, Mikel, and Kachuda at the back four. Sadiki, Jaka, the pivot. Efe is a cam, and Julio is the left winger. Hume the right, and Robbie starts as the striker. João Pedro starts. Let's actually start with the back. Actually, it's Sanchez at the back for Chelsea, of course, the goalkeeper. It's a back three for Chelsea, Fofana, Colwell, and Dorohato. Caicedo and Fernandez, of course, in midfield. Gusto, the right fullback. Kurt, the left fullback. Neto, João Pedro, and Palmer starts as a front three. Chelsea. The bench for Sunderland includes Ekberg, Kirkin, Omar Durete, Habib Diarra, Benton Traore, Chris Rigg, Elisa Mayenda, Julian Tabby, and Wilson Isidore. The bench for Chelsea includes Fredrik Jorgensen, Josh Achimpong, Reece James, Trevor Chalobah, Andre Santos, Dario Suga, Alejandro Garnacho, Jesse Derry, and Liam Delap. We also Just checking on United and Brighton. The lineup is Bermugan is in goal for Brighton, Kadioglu, Donk, Van Hecker, and Vifa, the back four. Gross and James Milner starts as the midfield pivots. The Cope on the left, Gomez on the right, Henshwood is a Cam, and Welbeck, who is on the England squad, shockingly, is not, or actually starts for Brighton. Lamins, of course, starts as the United keeper today. Lucio Masraoui, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw, the back four. Mount, Menu, the midfield pivot, and Miguel on the right. Bruno Fernandes, who today might break that Premier League assist record, and Doku on the left. So, of course, Burma starts as a false nine. Also, just having an eye on Bournemouth today. Of course, Nottingham Forest had nothing to play for today, but let's just go through the lineups for you in that one. Sells is the keeper today for Forest. Williams, or Nico Williams, Marato, Cunha, and Milokovic are back four. Gibbs White, Sangare, Anderson, and Hutchinson, Field and Wood, and Igor Jesus. Start off. Vitor Pereira starts with a 4-4-2 formation. For Indonezia's final game as Roman manager, he started Petrovic in goal, Smith, Hill, Sinesi, and through fair, of course, the back four. Adams, Scott to be for pivot, Savini on the right, Kripke, Cam, Ryan on the left, and Evan Nielsen starts, of course, for Bournemouth. So that's a lot of the important games for you. But I mean, what a day this would be, and we are waiting. We have less than 55 minutes to go to kick off, of course. Another 10 games live on Gorosh. Yeah, let's take a short break and we'll be back very soon. And so we are back. Of course, this is the Pep segment. It's now confirmed that Pep Guardiola will leave City at the end of the season. This is his final home game against Aston Villa. Of course, it's a today in less than 45 minutes time. Will be the first, of course, not the first, the last game of Pep's City career. And of course, to that, on that occasion, on that note, we have a video for you. Of course, a video by City, of course, posted by City on the YouTube social account. If you're in the short form, it's not you're not going to be able to see the video, but you'll be able to see the video here on the long form. So leave the vertical feed and come over to the long form feed for that, and it's coming up in less than 30 seconds time. So I'll be quiet. Listen to a message from Pep Guardiola. What a time we've had together to the City fans.
What is Guardiola like to come up against when you're when you're planning this I think you really know what to expect.
Wow. Wow. What a man. Pep Guardiola's sixth Premier League titles, 6 Premier League titles, a Champions League, a FIFA Club World Cup, of course, trying to get that on the screen. I mean, what a manager he has been. And I do not take that lightly at all in any circumstance. I mean, only Alex Ferguson has lifted more Premier League titles than him. What a man. What a man. Pep Guardiola, and I salute you, sir. And I really think he should be called Sir Pep Guardiola. Of course, today we will see him give his farewell speech and address in front of his stand, the Pep Guardiola stand. Wow. Just give me a moment here, please. So this, of course, are statistics. So before the final day today, the final game, which will make it 593. The stand is only 592. I mean, I said just only. It is 500, a staggering 592 games. The most ever, I mean, the most managed, oh, how do I say it? He has the record for managing the most games as a season manager in their history, in all competitions. So, what a man. 423 wins, 77 draws, 92 lost. Only 92 lost out of 592, which means that 500 times, out of 592 times, he has not lost as a manager at City. In no competitions, of course. I mean, how he has a win percentage record 71%. What a manager again. You have to give this man his flowers. And then also moving on to this one. His Manchester stats and his honors. Of course, 6 Premier League titles, a Champions League, a FIFA Club World Cup, and a UEFA Super Cup, I mean, FA Cup 3 times, Carabao Cup 5 times, and his Community Shield 2 times. And other since 2008/09 season, Pep Guardiola has 41 honors since the 08/09 season, with clubs in the top 5 European leagues, 41 ahead of Carlos Ancelotti, Luis Enrique, who have 22 and 21 respectively. What a manager he has been. And if you calculate of this, 9 plus 2, 11 plus 8, I mean, it's nearly 20. Is it 20? 8 plus 10, 19. Yeah. I think the FA Cup makes it 4. I'm not sure, but I think he has 20 honors. But again, what a man this. And wow, he has shocked English football, revolutionized British football. He has made teams play from the back. He has great influence, style of play. He will leave a mark which will be indented and printed and ironed into the Premier League style of play. Sir, this is today. You will see this. Pep says goodbye. That will be up during his farewell speech in front of the Pep Guardiola stand. And yeah, what a man. Winning the FA Cup. And John Stones also leaving today. Bernardo Silva doing the same. Those three have their farewell address coming up very soon. I mean, what a man. And next up for you, we have another farewell address. Actually, we have two, but a special one, or the special one, I would say, is Salah. And that will come up very soon. Give us a short break. We'll be back in less than 3 minutes. Again, we're on a break here. Give us 2 minutes.
Gallagher.
Welcome to Manchester.
Thank you so much.
I woke out thinking, okay, Noel is here. This will be fun. And what a time we have had together. Don't ask.
We beat up, guys.
When I arrived, my first interview was with Noel Gallagher.
Welcome to Manchester.
Thank you so much.
I woke out thinking, okay, Noel is here. This will be fun. And what a time we have had together. Don't ask me the reasons I'm leaving. There is no reason. But deep inside, I know it's my time. Nothing is eternal. If it was, it would be here. Eternal will be the feeling, the people, the memories, the love I have for my Manchester City. This is a city is built from work, from graft. You see it in the color of the bricks, from people who clock in early and stay late, the factories, the pankhursts, the unions, the music, simply the industrial revolution and how this changed the world. And I think I grew to understand that, and my teams did too. We work, we suffer, we fought, and we did things our own way. Our way. Hard work comes in many forms. Trips to Bournemouth when we lost the Premier League and you were there. And trips to Istanbul when you were there too. Remember the Manchester Arena attack when the city showed what the strength actually looks like. Not anger, not fear, just love, community, togetherness, a city united. Remember losing my mom during COVID, feeling this club carry me through it. The fans, the staff, the people of Manchester, you gave me the strength when I needed most. Chris, my kids, my whole family. You were there, as always. Khaldun, you were there too. Players, don't forget every single instant, every single moment. Me, my staff, this club, everything, what we have done it for all of you. And you have been just exceptional. You don't know it yet, but you are leaving a legacy. So as many time comes to an end, be happy. Oasis are back again. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for pushing me. Thank you for loving me. Tony Walsh said in his unforgettable poem, "This is the place." I'm sorry, Tony. This is my place. Noel, I was right. It has been so fucking fun. Love you all.